see a lot of advertising for supplements for separation anxiety, and also the vet may recommend medications, which sounds really scary. How do we even go there? What can you talk about? Is it even worth it?
Yeah. Oh, this is such a great question and really nuanced. So let's talk about that. And we're in two different countries. I'm in the US, you're in the UK. So we probably have some different laws, but for the most part, they're mostly probably the same. So as far as medications, prescribed medications go, I'm not a vet. I can't prescribe medications. But I will tell you, I work with a lot of dogs who have prescribed medications and who are taking them. And so I'm not, I don't have the degree and the education to really comment about whether a dog should or should not be on medication. I do happen to witness a lot of good things that come out of medication, and sometimes some tough things that come out of it too. And so I have a very broad breadth of experience around that, and supplements as well. So here's what I say to my clients when they ask about medication, and sometimes clients aren't aware that they could be using different types of medications and or supplements, and sometimes I'm the one who brings it up. And I always say, hey, I'm not a vet, I can't prescribe, and I don't know what's appropriate for your dog, but I want you to know there's a resource available to you. And I think it's great for you to talk to your vet about that and see if if you're interested in such a thing, if this is a good fit for you and your dog. And it's such a personal decision. There's a fair amount of stigma, frankly, around behavioral meds. For people and for dogs. I don't call them behavioral meds for people, probably, but there's a lot to navigate there. It's complex, but these are decisions that I think are best left between the vet and the guardian. Here's what I do: I track it. I mean, and I'm sure we look and see what happens once that med or that supplement comes on. Then we start tracking and seeing how does this change the behavior during our training, and we're able to really see whether it's working or not. There's real hard facts. It's not a subjective
Yeah.
decision at that point. It becomes a decision that's really based in data. And I think that is invaluable because that's how I talk about meds and supplements. I have to say, I'm very pro meds, frankly. I think it's a really good way to help dogs have a soft landing. I err on the side of bringing it up as a resource, not saying that it's appropriate, but bringing it up as something that could potentially help earlier in the process, because I think I've seen it help so many dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm probably a little bit higher on the med side than I am on the supplement side, just because of my experiences of what I've seen. And for me personally, I feel like there's just a little more um, research around the meds
Yeah.
piece. But again, it's a personal decision, and everyone has their own beliefs about that. I think it's really important to support people. So for me, people don't have to be using meds or supplements. Or not. Either way, I'll work with you. But my job is to just show you the options, and your job is to decide. So that's how I look at it. How about you, Joe? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so again, legally, only a vet can actually name the medications, prescribe, talk about doses. So we're not even allowed to type the name out on our social media because that's technically illegal. But I see, again, like you, when working with a vet, the owner is working with a vet and is finding the right type of meds, because there's some different ones out there that work slightly differently, and finding the right one, finding the right dose for dog, and then you can actually generally see much more of an improvement because it takes the extremes off and puts them in a better frame of learning. So it doesn't create a zombie dog. If you've got a zombie dog, it's the wrong medication.
Yes, that one, which you just
But
said.
it actually gives you a better version of it, should give you the better version of your dog, i.e., a less extreme anxious dog. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, they're the best dog they can be, and they can learn and they can develop. And actually, from not really getting much success, it can really take off. You see the difference. But again, these are the prescribed meds because there's lots of research and there's lots of data. What you also see, a lot of people say, "Oh, try this new herbal supplement, and have you tried this plant and that plant?" And actually, they legally they don't have to have any research on them, and it can be a lot of anecdotal. So, and also like caregiver placebo. So therefore, just because you're giving your dog something, you think it's better, but actually the data shows differently. Because when we do separation training, it's all very data focused. It's detailed times. We know the times. The
Right.
departure is all very quite prescriptive. It's not just guesswork. It's actually quite a careful pattern given to the dog. So you can see when they're actually making improvements. And I'm not saying that maybe, I know, a bit of valerian or something might help the dog, but I've never actually seen it. And I don't like to see my clients wasting money and time, months
Yes.
trialing these different herbal supplements just because there's a big marketing campaign on social media about them. Or somebody goes, "I gave my dog them and they seem fine afterwards." So there's, one person's citizen science, not real proper peer approved, gone through a lot more stringent testing.
Hmm.
Obviously, some supplements can be quite toxic to dogs, or given too much, it can cause toxic problems for dogs. So I'd rather go for the vet approved ones.
Yes.
And once, and it may be a little bit of trial and error, but the sooner you kind of get on them, it can really help. Not everybody wants to, and absolutely fine. I actually took my dog, I didn't take my dog through medications. It took a long time, but I was prepared to do that. But a lot of people want to be able to get their lives back sooner. They don't want to take years, they want to take more months rather than years. And prescribed medications can certainly help there. But it's personal choice. I'm never going to make somebody do it, but I'm certainly, like you say, it's a support, it's an added arm of support that's available. And it's always worth at least asking those questions of your vet, because do you know what? You can always say no. I
Right.
don't want to do this. But on doing your research, you go, well, let's try it. And then people, I have clients, they start seeing really great results, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're going to continue." And again, that's their choice.
Right.
But it can be, some of them have initial side effects. Sometimes it takes a good few weeks for them to kick in, just as it does for
Yes.
humans. And so sometimes you don't see instant results, like, "Oh, it's really frustrating." And you just got to, no, 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 just give it a bit of time. If you
Hmm.
start to see results, then we know it's working. If you don't see results, it's perfectly your choice as well. And it's not for us to say you've got to or not. We have to be
Right.
very, very careful what and how we say. But it's like, well, these are the different options. It's like with anything, you've got dog walkers, daycare, there's different options. And it's just another option of support around the holistic support around separation, anxiety help.
Right.